According to a new poll, Kamala Harris is now the 2028 frontrunner. The word salad queen who fumbled the ball and couldn't articulate a single policy without telling us about her being a middle-class kid, garnering 41%, with Gavin Newsom coming in second.
That spirit that fuels the countless hours and days and months of work that you have put into this, that spirit can never be defeated. Our spirit is not defeated. We are not defeated. Our spirit will not be defeated. And I promise you, I will be with you every step of the way.
So sadly for us, Kamala's days of word salads may not be over just yet. A definitely defeated Democrat Party, however, is looking ahead to 2028, and Kamala Harris is currently considered the presumptive frontrunner to lead the party.
At least that's what Joe Biden hinted at during the DNC's holiday reception this weekend.
She always served this country with purpose and integrity, and she always will. And you're not going anywhere, kid, because we're not going to let you go.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, I know some of y'all thought that with such a trouncing on November 5th, taken by Kamala Harris, I know some of y'all thought she was going to tuck tail and run. There's been rumors floating around that she was going to run for the governorship of California. But let me tell you something. That's such a step down from the White House. And this is coming from someone who once worked as a staffer in the state capital of California. I've been in the governor's office. Yeah, it's nice and all, but there's no comparison to the White House. And I promise you, someone having the experience that this woman had, where it's basically a paid do-nothing job for 4 years. Oh, she don't want to go to California and be the governor? No. Having had no notable accomplishments as the vice president for 4 years, and you still get to skate, you step before the people and you lie, repeatedly telling us that Joe Biden is as sharp as a tack. He's as fit as a fiddle. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He could run a country mile. Well, the Wall Street Journal just released a story saying that Joe Biden has been infirm since 2019 when they ran him. That's why they ran him from the basement then, and we knew it. Those of us thinking people, those of us who are politically aware, we saw it for what it was. But we couldn't beat the machine. We couldn't beat the cheat. But here we are, having a new political climate, and this woman just got the brakes beat off of her by the MAGA movement. Yeah, the paid operatives tried to lie. They tried to tell us, oh, well, she's ahead. Oh, well, it's tied up. Oh, well, it's a razor-thin margin. But those of us with our ear to the street and our feet on the ground, we couldn't understand, why does the media keep saying that? Doesn't feel that way. Well, turns out it wasn't that way at all. Now, was it? But this woman is all but declaring that she is putting her foot on the gas. Nah, she ain't running nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. She is the leading candidate as of today for 2028 in the Democrat Party. Wow. Well, we know Gavin is gearing up to make his run. I'm sure there's some other Democrat voices, Democrat personalities out there who want to make a run, take a stab at it, see what they got. Well, this woman ain't getting out your way. You thought you were done with her? Nah, bruh. As bad as she is, as much as she lies, as much as she serves up word salad, oh, she ain't going nowhere. Y'all stuck. And we glad about it. Go, Kamala, go.
Tell us what the likelihood is of Harris running for governor.
What she's been saying to people over the last couple of weeks, donors, other supporters that she's been talking with, is, you haven't seen the last of me. I'm not going quietly into the night. Advisors, people close to her, are debating about what that means. They do not want her final official act ever to be essentially certifying Donald Trump's win over her, especially 4 years after January 6th. And so they look at this governor's race in California in 2026, and it seems to them like a layup, essentially, that she would probably clear the field, or mostly clear the field, and she would get to be governor of California. It's a pretty good job, right? It was good enough for Ronald Reagan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jerry Brown. But if she does that, that means that she couldn't turn around and run for president again in 2028, right? She'd need to essentially declare right away. And that is what it really comes down to, because there are people close to her who say she didn't get a fair shot this year. It wasn't up to what she could have done, and look how well she performed anyway. She should get to go again in 2028. And then there are ones who say, look, with where things are with the Democratic Party, she would not have a cleared field rather in the Democratic primary, and could lose the nomination. And to come off of 2024 into that would be really terrible.
All right, Karen Finney. Clearly, Democrats are very demoralized, and even the posture from her in that speech kind of underscored the reality. Questions about her political future, who the standard bearer may be. What do you think it does look like for Kamala Harris going forward? I mean, our Isaac Dovere reporting that her aides and team divided between whether she should run for president or run for governor of California.
Yeah, I think some of that is also consultants who would like her to run for California because they want to get the payout quicker. So I'm not so sure that that's the right move. I think those are some of her California advisors. And also some of those same people are advising Gavin Newsom. So we'll just put the politics out there. Just saying. Personally, I think she should run for president again if she believes she has the energy to do it.
Do you think she could win the nomination?
I do. But I think you have to recognize, I remember, going into the second Clinton, when he was running for re-election, our chief of staff said, it's going to be like, we're going to string you up from your fingernails upside down, from your toenails upside down. That's what it is to run for president. And it's true. I mean, it's gotten only harder. But I also think you can't answer that question right now because, I would take the time, decide, do you have it in you to do it again? I do think she'd win the primary. Here's the main thing. She didn't get to run the race she would want to run. She had 107 days to do the best she could with 107 days with a team that was not quite hers, with a strategy that was developed for someone very different. There were very real on the ground consequences. And frankly, a Democratic Party that had not been talking to voters for 3 years.
As you can see, y'all, there are quite a few mixed emotions on the Democratic side. Some folks still butthurt. Some folks a little mad, a little angry, a little perturbed about what they went through, about what they sacrificed, about putting their name and their reputation on the line for this empty suit. Well, y'all are part of the problem. Y'all are part of the package they tried to sell to us. They used your voices, they used your platforms, and you put yourself out there for what? For a coin? Well, you're finding out now there's no return on your investment. You risked it all. You bet the farm and you lost. And there's some people out there who bet more than the farm to the tune of $2.5 billion. And it's probably going to grow more than that as the real truth comes out. There's a reckoning coming. And some of these major investors want to have a come to Jesus moment. They want to have a meeting. We need to have a meeting. We need to have a sit down at the table. And we need you to go line by line and explain to us where our money at. Because no one gives you $2.5 billion without expecting something back. And without a presidency, well, you get nothing back, especially in the case of Donald Trump being the new president, especially in the age of Doge. Oh, you ain't getting nothing back. Your money gone. You crapped out, my friend.
I mean, Lindy, no disrespect to her, because she's a perfectly nice woman. She would not inspire me to open a bag of chips. I mean, seriously. And I think that she sort of personifies now the ghost of Christmas past, as does Biden. The Democrats have got to move on quickly, haven't they?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. She's indulging delusions of running for governor in California in 2026 and perhaps even running for president in 2028. And I just want to echo what a lot of you guys already said. This past week has been harrowing for me. This Saturday, I went on Fox and Friends and I said that Democrats have a stench of loser hanging over them.
Yeah.
As soon as I said that, there were boycott campaigns against me, unblock, unfollow campaigns. I lost 40,000 followers.
Really?
In 4 days. People have called me the W word. I don't know what we're allowed to say, but you can fill in the blank.
We're uncensored. Let's say it. Say it. Say what the word was.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Well, they called me a whore. They called me the C word. They asked for me to be deported. And you can just search for my name in those terms on X and you'll see a bunch of them. So, all these so-called Democrats, the party of inclusion, the party of diversity, masks off. And it's even worse because they pretend to occupy the moral high ground. At least with Republicans, they are who they are. But with Democrats, they pretend to be, so loving and caring and embracing of diversity. But all of a sudden, when I dare to utter any criticisms of the goddess, Kamala Harris, I get ostracized. Me, after having raised tens of millions of dollars for the party. And I'm being called a grifter when all along, all these years, I've said on TV, I've said to the press, I'm a conservative Democrat. This is not a switch for me. This is just me. This is who I've always been.
Yeah.
And also, my donors are pissed. They raised $2.5 billion across Super PAC in the campaign. It's my responsibility. It's my duty of care to ask what the hell happened with that money? Why did we spend it? Why did we spend millions of dollars on 5-star hotels for campaign staffers? Why did we spend $500,000 essentially bribing Al Sharpton moments before he interviewed Kamala? These are legitimate questions, but no, in the cult, you can't ask questions.
Yeah.
And leaving the Democratic Party or even questioning the Democratic Party is like leaving a cult. It's terrifying.
No, it seems like the pundits couldn't save you. Seems like CNN couldn't save you. MSNBC couldn't save you. Nothing you tried worked. Even greasing the palms of pollsters out there in Iowa to try to sabotage an election at the last moment. Oh, she's going to pay a very severe price for that. Even if she's not found guilty of anything, even if she's not found liable for anything, just the investigation alone is going to be so problematic for her life that she may wish she never did it. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If you don't, just Google pollsters in Iowa and I'm sure something will come up. Most of all, the blackity blacks that you got on the cheap. See, you went over there to them folks and you paid big coin, but you came to the community and you spread a little coin around because you knew that the blackity blacks would jump on for the cheap. Some of them would jump on for the free, just to have a photo op, just to get to shake your hand, just to get to sit down at a black tie dinner. Can I just be in the number? Yeah, you threw a few coins around, but the blackity blacks were all on board. Put you up in the pulpit. Put you up on the black platforms and podcasts. Let you have a voice. Let you lie to the entire community. Well, what do the blackity blacks get? Same thing you always get, nothing. But you seem to be okay with it because it seems like the blackity blacks are out here still supporting and saying, hey, if she's going to run, let her run. We still got her back. Yeah, she lied to us. Yeah, she lost big. Yeah, she lame like Mephibosheth. But we're going to support her anyway because that's what blackity blacks do.
Republicans have it easy. You're right or hard right. Okay. And the reality is the Democratic tent is a larger tent. And that's what you have to do. And so guess what? That ain't going anywhere. That ain't going anywhere. So Democrats can complain about quote identity politics. Everything in politics is identity politics. Income, education, rural versus urban. That's all identity politics. But the only time they criticize identity politics is when typically it involves race. And then you could say gender, you could say sexual orientation, but typically it's race. What I continue to suggest that Democrats are going to have to figure out, and they're going to have to be honest, Democrats are going to have to deal with this. Democrats are going to have to understand white fear. They're going to have to understand how the buttons of white fear are pushed. They need to perfect example. Democrats are sitting here talking about, oh, we've got to figure out how to talk to these working class voters. You pass the policies. So it's not policy. It's not. The defining point that Democrats can have to confront, it's culture. It's culture. And they have to confront whiteness. And white Democrats are going to have to be honest about this. The Bernie Sanders of the world, they're going to have to understand whiteness is real. Elizabeth Warren, whiteness is real.
And there you have it, y'all. What do you think about this? This woman is not going to get out the way. She's not going to go away. She's here for the long haul, y'all. She ain't old, she young. Compared to what these modern presidents are. No, she's not 80, she's 60, y'all. She could be here in 2028. She can be here in 2032. She here for the long run. You can't get rid of her. Somebody gonna buy her off to go away? I don't think she's in it for the money. I think she has something to prove now. I think she's a little butthurt. I think her ego is a little crushed. Unjustifiably so, in my opinion, because we know how you got to where you got. See, some of us know the truth, even though you won't tell it. But only time will tell, because this woman says she ain't going nowhere. She gonna hang around and she gonna pester the Democrats, even into 2028. Well, go ahead, Kamala. You got my support in that. You ain't got my vote. You'll never get it. But you got my support for running in 2028. We hope you do, because we know you're not gonna sharpen up your skills between here and there. And even if you did, your history speaks volumes. And you, in my opinion, don't care about this country. You care about social issues that are to the detriment of this country. Y'all let me know what you think about this topic. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.